Allow some good deep breaths to flow. Beautiful inhale. Nice exhale. Imagine each cycle of breath you're taking in and out is helping to cleanse your system. It's a very cleansing breath. And have it cleanse you from all levels. So maybe first, it's on the physical level. Physical body, relaxing, getting refreshed. Maybe the next breath is an emotional level, cleansing from some crazy emotions that maybe have been going on. Cleansing at the macro level, maybe different relationships that are going on, sometimes arguments that happen that stick with us. Cleansing at the micro level, the little invaders that come into our system. And imagine that lymphatic system, all the little lymph nodes in the body and all the channels connecting them, trying to help to cleanse your body. That lymphatic system and our immune system is what we're working on today. So there's different things that help to massage some of the points where there's a lot of lymph nodes. So we'll get some of those little massages happening today, helping to continue to help just keep the circulation of the lymph going really nicely. Areas like the pelvis area, the back of knees, armpits, those kinds of goodies. Another area we're working on it is our orientation with gravity. Lymphatic lymph, the two ways it can move is either by muscle contraction or by gravity being flipped upside down so it can flow down the channels the other way. So gravity, we get some of our inversions that we love. And also just by overall stress reduction, that also helps it out. It's like we're keeping the doors open to the flow of the immune system rather than closing it off. So in all these ways, imagine today we're helping to boost our immune system, helping to make it so those little invaders that might try to get into our body are carried out, scooped up, passed on. And so with that idea to carry us into our class, let us start off with some good stretches for our body. The arms get to stretch all the way to back wall. And then let shoulders go to the right, shoulders to the left, a couple of easy times back and forth. Good. And then when you're ready to come back in a center, let's hug the right knee into the chest. One thing I like to do here is some ankle rolls with that right foot, but also think of this as a little massage, a little compression for the front of that right hip area. There's, like I said, that's a spot with a lot of those little lymph nodes, a little patch of it. So imagine this is helping to kind of get its first little squeeze right there. And then when you're ready to stretch right leg up to sky, grab onto the leg, help to stretch hamstring. And also imagine just by tilting this leg upside down like this, we're helping to allow that lymph to flow down. So think of it kind of like a tree releasing it's like imagining, when we tap into it, we're getting that nice flow. We'll turn into maple syrup. It's really thick stuff. That's kind of like our lymphatic system, super, super thick. And so let it flow. Take another huge breath in and out. And then we're gonna hook this right heel on the back left side of the fabric. Once it's hooked, slide the shin in. If you're confused at all, peek at your neighbors. Like a pigeon pose, slide the shin in, feel that hip get a nice chance to open. I like pigeon pose because it both helps to squeeze those lymph nodes around the back of the knee and around that groin area again. Take another huge inhale. Nice exhale. Start to release this right leg. Drop it down. Left knee gets hugged in. Clasp around that knee. Try to pull the knee in close to shoulder to get that little squeeze for the lymph nodes there. Slow, easy breath, reminding us to stay relaxed. Reducing stress also helps us out tremendously. Leg up to sky when you're ready. When I stretch my leg up to sky, I'm trying to allow back of knee to really be straight, because that's how I feel the sensation that I'm helping the lymph nodes at the back of the knee. I'm not hyperextending, but straightening, even if that means that the angle's not quite as deep. The leg is straight, so the ligaments and the lymph node is being stretched just a little bit better. Good, let's take another huge inhale. Nice exhale. And then move to the hip opener here. Left heel hooks to back right. Slide the shin in. Give that spot a couple of breaths. More huge breath cycle, flow in. Nice exhale. Release this leg out. When we drop it down, take the fabric past where the knees are, so our legs are dangling again. Use the grip of the hands to help us rise up. And let's invert first and foremost here. So slide the thumbs to the back side of the fabric. Push it clear down to about where your pants are. That makes it most comfortable to push it clear down to that spot. Laying back, you can grip back on like a tabletop. And then from this spot, wide legs tilting back keeps you safe. Ankles wrapping. Once you've got the ankles set, you're safe to let go of hands. Just let the spine relax. Those that are new to inverting know that it's not a competition. You don't have to stay as long as anybody else. You're just listening to your body. Letting your spine relax. When your body knows to come out, go for it. Just grab back on and come softly out. But those that know little variations that help your body out, take them. So that might be a walking hands toward mirror side of the mat to arch the spine. It might be a twist, one hand at top of mat, one hand at back of mat. It might just be hanging. That's beautiful too. Even if just for a brief moment, imagine the lymph getting to just drop down, hang, release. Sometimes for me, it's helpful to envision a certain color for that lymph. Maybe it's like a green color because it's toxic and it's working its way out. Maybe it's a random other color like orange or purple or something, so that you can really imagine kind of tracing the lines. Maybe something else. No rush to be out. When you are out, you're hooking your elbows on the back end of the fabric and then leaning forward. A floating child that gives your head and your spine a chance to get a nice stretch while we're flipping our blood pressure back around. Those that are still upside down, you've got a little bit longer, so you're welcome to enjoy just a little bit more. So making your way up if you're not already. Let's get some of those lymph nodes that are kind of under the jaw area. We don't always include those. So what we're going to do is we're not trying to crunch the bones on the back of the head, but we're trying to lift the chin up, maybe even jut the jaw forward until we feel this front of throat area stretch. That'll be our inhale. With our exhale, slowly just drop the chin down to chest. Let's go nice and slowly with our breath 4 more times. Inhale, throat and chin lifting. Exhale, softly lower. 3. 2. And 1. And when the chin drops back down to chest, let there be soft neck rolls, rocking the head a little closer to right shoulder, a little closer to left shoulder. Many people hold tension in neck, so this is a chance to ease some of that stress out of the body. Good. Stacking spine back up tall. Let's bunch up fabric to front door half. Bunching up fabric to that half. You're allowing your arm that's toward the mountains, that back wall, to open up. So it should be your right arm. Or maybe it circles around the back of the head. This is a spine twist. So imagine any tension up the spine. We're helping to ease some of that out. More good breath in and out. As we release, bunch up fabric to back door side. And again, it's that arm closer to the painted mountain wall that opens or circles around the head. Another huge inhale. Nice exhale. And then you're bunching fabric up to the half that points you to center of room. So this half gets to stay, the other half switches. Once you've bunched up fabric to this half, walk your arms straight. That gives your hips some space. That hip that just got lifted, that's the leg that gets to swing up and over. We're straddling in the fabric. Lock your arms straight. Lock your arms straight, that gives your hips some space. You got it. Okay. So once you're in, get your legs all the way covered. Legs are trying to open up nice and wide. So from here to start getting into some of those lymph nodes in our armpit area, what we're going to do is move with our breath. With an exhale, we're reaching the left hand up and over. We're stretching those left lymph nodes. And then rise back up. Exhale when we lean over to the other side. Inhale back up. Try to get it so that each time an arm is coming up and over, those lymph nodes in the armpit are getting stretched out. So you'll have to play with it. Maybe you can get into that by straightening out any bend in the elbow. Maybe you get there by tilting the shoulder open just a little bit further back. Whatever helps you to feel like you're getting those armpits. All those lymph nodes with a gentle squeeze and then rising up. We'll take 2 more each half. One more each. Good. So after that last one, we're going to set ourselves up to stand inside. So make sure that your toes are completely inside. On each half, the feet look about equal. It's okay if the fabric's asymmetrical. We'll be able to balance that out in a moment, but at least get the feet in the right spot. So toes completely inside. And then coming to kind of a squat press, you need to slide the heels close to the glutes, but the knees pop outside. Like we're leaning back like a frog, the knees pop outside. That'll help us out. Punching fabric in front of us. Slide the feet right under glutes. Just pop the knees all the way out till it comes to a squat press. Good. Okay. If head is caught, this is the point you need to take the head out. Otherwise, it'll be a lot harder to stand up. So get the elbows out, get the shoulders out, get the head out. Good. Get your one elbow free. There you go. So hands slide up high. Now all we have to do is just stand up. Keep the inner thighs squeezed together. That'll help you stand more easily. Weight right underneath you. Okay, so we're going to do a splits to the mirror side. So your shoulder that's closer to mirror, that shoulder needs to come around behind. And then grip on. Hips are facing to mirror. And front leg goes forward, back leg goes back. If you prefer to go deeper, you can reset the grip to be on the inside. That's fine. The outside grip feels safe if this is kind of your first here. No pressure either way, just whatever type of splits feels good. Feel that groin area opening up, those lymph nodes. Take 2 more breaths. And then lower your back knee down. And come inside on this front long edge. And then sliding the heart down forward, closer to that thigh. We're able to help to get into a half splits. So this is especially focusing on the lymph nodes on the back of that front knee. Try to straighten that leg out so you can really feel that space have lots of length. Good inhale. Exhale. And then spine rises up. Pigeon pose. This front knee needs to swivel open like a pigeon pose. Once you've got the knee swiveled open, you just have to send the front hip forward, the back leg back. If you stay inside, this is king pigeon. If you're freeing out one arm, let it be the arm that's above those front toes. And you get to lean forward, sleeping. Again, I love pigeon for that compression at the knee, compression at the groin, all sorts of goodies happening. One more good inhale. Exhale. This leg that's in front of you, rock your weight onto that hip, and then swing legs back open to the starting wide position that we had. From here, slide your right hand down your right leg. Leave the left hand up and over this time, giving it even more space for that armpit area. That inner armpit to have the lymph node stretched out. Okay, rising up, let's switch. Left hand down left leg, right hand up and over. Make sure you can really feel those lymph nodes opening up. Good, rising up. You have to come back up to stand. So if your toes peeked out at all, reset the fabric. And then slide heels close to glutes, knees need to pop out. Like to bunch up the fabric, reaching high to come into the low squat. Knees pop forward, my shoulders and my head are free. From there, slide hands up, rise up. Now it's going to be the turning toward the back door, the back wall side. So that arm needs to come all the way behind and then grab on. Splits to that side, front leg forward, back leg back. You can always reset the hands if you want to go deeper. Here, about 2 more deep full breaths. And drop down onto your back knee. Hands reset onto the inside, that long front edge. Grab on and then lean the heart forward. We're still getting closer to thigh. Remember that this is about trying to straighten that front knee so you can feel the stretching on the back side of the knee. Another good inhale. Nice exhale. Horse those rising up. Swivel the knee open to pigeon pose facing the back wall. Once you got the knee swiveled open, you can send the front leg forward, the back leg back. Maybe king pigeon or maybe one shoulder out, sleeping. A few more breaths, try to make them extra slow and deep. Imagining just the act of breathing is helping your immune system. Good. So again, we rock our weight onto this front leg. Swivel open greatly to wide leg. The hands push into the outer fabric to help the legs spread out nice and wide. And let's slip the feet out of each side. We're back at the knees. Once we're in this wide straddle position, we're gonna face back forward. So you'll bunch up the fabric in front of you, lock your arms straight. The leg that's for that back wall needs to swivel forward. Facing forward to mirror. When you get there, reset the hips to be all the way facing forward. And then let's play with vampire. Those that know variations, feel free to play with them. Vampire, those that know it, also go ahead and go right into it. I'm just gonna review for those that are new. So vampire, you get this fabric that's behind you and you place one thin layer completely over shoulders like a full cap sleeve. I'm using my elbows to get all access to my waist and then laying back. From there, I need to get the extra fabric from my waist to my leg, to my feet. So then, and you can just watch first and then I'll be by to help you. So you've got the fabric from waist. I need to take it down to my feet. So I step my feet in, lift my hips up to slide it out long. And I've got just enough to cover my shoulders. So once I've got this set up, I grab my hands up high. I get my feet to be right above where my hands are. And then by pushing into fabric, I'm able to rise upside down. Okay? So go ahead and get that one thin layer of fabric over shoulders. You don't need much excess, otherwise it pushes on neck. You need to start working the excess down. Good, keep on doing that a couple more times. Me? Nope, you're good, sorry. Okay, and okay, so it's still, fabric is still around your head. You need it to just be neck and shoulders, that's it. Okay, so now hands left and right up high. Yep, feet pike up. They can be inside the fabric, it's fine. Then,
oh, they should be in there.
It doesn't matter, either way is fine. And then, so rather than wrapping your heel, push the inside, push out. Yep, and then by that push, you're able to activate your core to lift your hips up. Keep the hands gripped on left and right. Yep.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Okay, so let me help you set your feet. Not wrapped around, but push. Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yep, you're welcome. You what?
Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't it feel nice?
That's fun.
Good. That's what I love with aerial. There's just the slightest shift will completely change the pose. So we're about at that point, about half of us are in, half of us are out. So those that are still upside down, enjoy your last couple of breaths. Maybe 4 or 5 good, relaxing breaths. Eventually sliding hips down, maybe some time in Shavasana, maybe some time in floating child. Making sure that we have plenty of recovery time, because if we rush right out, sometimes it's too much for the body. So help me know when you're pretty good with this recovery just by sitting up again. That helps me know that you're in a good spot. If ever you need more recovery time and I move on, by the way, that's just take your time to recover. Laying back or even just sitting on the ground if you ever need it, that's always fine. But looks like most of us are good to go. So if you're feeling good here, let's bunch the fabric, lift the hips up and out. What we're gonna do is take the fabric right under shoulder blades. Walk back to take all the slack out. And then bending the knees, we're walking ourselves forward until hips are under pummel. Good. So from here, right heel slides long. 5 times, we're going to kick that right leg up as much as we can, as high as we can. On the 5th one, we're going to try to catch the leg up in that stretch. So when you're ready, lift that leg up. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, catch it.
Oh my God.
Good work. Couple of breaths. Another good inhale. Exhale, take right heel to left thigh. And then again, just release your core. Let that knee rotate open. Good hip opener. Good. Drop the right foot to ground. Slide the left heel out. 5 kicks, catching on the last one. When you're ready, here is 5, 4, 3, 2, and catch. Another good inhale. Exhale, figure 4. Relax the weight of the hips down. Enjoy that massage into the armpit area too. That nice little lymph node squeeze. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Drop the foot down and then work both knees underneath you. Keeping the arms open so we don't slip out. We're going to take a nice camel. So you could either lean back or it's actually deeper to lean your hips forward and let the fabric catch you. It's kind of like in between a camel and a sphinx. The cobra, big opener. Well, that throat especially, get the chance to open. Beautiful. Weight back over the middle. Take the arms onto the inside. Hands are in the fabric. We're stepping our left foot up to the top left side of the mat. Sinking weight forward and using the fabric to just lean nice and deep forward. If straight arms is too intense, bent elbows is another option. Good. Hips over the back knee. Front leg straightens out. Let yourself slide forward, half splits. If anybody wants to keep on sliding the heel any amount forward of that, that's okay. Beautiful. Work yourself into a place where you can kneel on left. Step the right foot up to the top right. Sink yourself forward into the lunge. Maybe arms are locked straight as you bow forward. Maybe you're doing the bent elbow variation. And half splits. Forward. Maybe you're even sliding the heel a little further forward if you like that spot. Okay, come back, right knee is on the floor. Release the fabric for a moment in front of you, shake your hands out. Okay. The fabric, we're hugging through the outside, circle inside and wrap just once to grab. So it's not a flip under, it's just a hug and then a circle around to grab. So from here, what we're gonna try to do is engage this arm strength to hold us and then lift the knees up and down softly. Higher grip makes it further away from ground, but you have to do more of a pull-up. Lower grip, you're already there contracted, you just have to engage the low abs to do that contraction. So play with it higher, play with it lower, take a couple of reps. Breathe the whole time. Exhales, inhales. Good. It's okay to just lift the knees a little bit. That's okay. Just get the knees softly off the ground. Yep. Try to go, if you're just doing the knees, yep, try to go as slowly as you can. Up and down. Yes. You got it. You guys are doing awesome. Maybe 3 more. Keep breathing, whatever you can do. It counts. It works. Maybe last one. Now let's work our way up to stand. Good job. Amazing efforts. Let's take a hip hang. So fabric across hip bones. I like to walk myself forward to take all the slack out. I can kind of lean into the fabric, get some of those lymph nodes massaged. As I drop my hands down, I take 3 good steps backwards so I'm under plumb line with the hips again. Once I'm there, you could stay in down dog. You could take hip hang, starting to lift the toes up. The knees can stay bent or straight. You could play with standing split, wrapping 1 foot at a time around the fabric. The other one gets to try to straighten down to ground. Lots of variations you can play with. Listen to how we can help massage through that lymph area. You got it. Just make sure the other leg stays down. Good. So you wrapped on inside, wrap on outside. You got it. That way? That way, you got it. That sounds good. And then the other toes have to stay down, down, down. Otherwise, you'll slip your hips out.
Down, down, down.
Just to yep. You could even grab around the calf if you want. Pull that leg in this way. Yep. Work. So know that if you're doing things that are 1/2, make sure you have it in you to have the second half so you're not like needing to come out right away. You have enough in your head, your blood pressure, all that good stuff. And no rush, just because I'm saying this, but eventually when you know it's time to come up, you'll get your feet underneath you and slowly roll your head up before you can just lay back into the front. So no rush. Those that are still upside down, you're welcome to stay a little bit longer. Get fabric behind the shoulders so you can just lay back. That's our recovery pose here. Notice stay longer, just on your own free form, that's okay. If you're out, perhaps you bend your right knee, and then you point your right elbow toward that right knee so that that left armpit gets stretched. And eventually you'll switch, both sides getting a round or two. Beautiful. Our head's feeling like it's recovered pretty good. You'll walk backwards to stand on your own. That'll help me know where you're at. Good. Okay, let's take fabric out in front of us. Right ankle in fabric. Make sure you're not too far behind plumb line, just a matter of inches when you gaze up. And then if you're splitting forward far, keep the hands up high and then take the splits. If you're taking more easy here, just slide the hands down for balance as you lean the heart closer to thigh. Remember again, bending the knee takes it out of that lymph node area. So try to keep the leg as straight as possible, even if that means you're not actually, it doesn't look like much to anybody else. Doesn't matter so much. More huge inhale here. Nice exhale. Take your weight over standing leg, slip to the thigh. So we're trying to scoot it as close as we can to that knee to start giving that knee area another little massage. So flat hands high, thumbs hug around, sink your weight forward. Just massage right behind the knee. Grip nice and tight, left and right. Slowly lift up your back knee and lower that back knee to the floor. But this knee cut will help to massage it even more. We're going to take normal half camel. So right hand grabs on left strand, nice and high. Maybe tuck the back toes to give you a couple of inches as your left hand drops to that left heel. Good. When left hand comes up, grab right strand. And then right hand twisting open. Beautiful. Grip one hand on each side. We're lowering down onto our back, but trying to keep at the knee, even if that looks like it's a little bit. Look your second knee inside. It's okay if you slip down, that's okay. We're coming back to both knees. So with both knees inside, give the hips a couple of wags, left and right. Nice massage. Okay. When you get here, what we're gonna try to do the best that we can, this is really hard, try to see if you can at least hold your torso above the ground for 3 or 4 breaths. So it's like a crunch, you're trying to lift off the ground, hold for 3 or 4 seconds. Just like a count or 2. Just see if you can get off the ground a little bit. If you need some help, grab around the back side of the thigh to help you up a little bit. Good, I know, super hard. Okay, so relax for a breath. And then we're gonna try to come all the way up to sit like a swing. So left and right hands, grab fabric, walk yourself up. Flip the fabric to the glutes, and we're up. Yeah, good work. Lots of core effort there. No matter what happened, it's okay. We're back to standing, fabric in front of us. Left ankle inside, second side. Good. After that compression on the knee, this should feel extra amazing. So splits would be hands high, sink weight forward. You need it a little easier, slip hands down, forward fold. Take a good breath in and out. Okay. Rising up, slip to the knee. Warrior one, flat hands high, thumbs hug around. Sink your weight forward. Tight grip left and right to softly lower right knee to ground. Maybe toes tuck already if you need those couple of extra inches. Normal half camel, left hand on right strand, right hand to heel. Hips try to push more forward rather than back. Okay, twisted half camel, right hand grips to left strand, left hand drops open. Okay. And on each side, lower down toward back. Again, getting both calves and both knees slipped in. A couple of wags left and right when you get there. Okay, we got one more side, so just do the best that you can do, whatever you got. Okay, so it might be arms, hands like an X across your chest, just lifting up. You might be grabbing around thighs to help you to go. Couple of seconds. You got a couple of seconds, just relax. You did awesome. Amazing. And we're gonna try to come up one more time. This was like a full roller for our thighs. So coming up, slide the fabric through the thighs. Woo, good work. And you earned Shavasana, so good job. So if you want Shavasana laying on the ground, that's fine. You want to come inside, let's come back the same as we did at the beginning. Grab the front end, wave it left and right. About half the fabric, about 5 grips or so. And make sure you're under plumb line. Slip it under glutes as you head in. And just lay all the way back, nice and comfortable. Especially after that last one, you can feel those lymph nodes alive. Did somebody need me? No. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Wow. You guys are troopers. You did awesome. Just let the head be in, let the legs be long. Here we get our chance just to breathe, just to relax. However you envision the immune system, even if it's like a cartoonesque thing, that's okay. Imagine that all this massaging we've done of these lymph nodes across groin, across armpits, across hips. Imagine all that massaging, all this inverting, all of this stress reduction as we just get to stretch. Imagine our immune system is so super boosted right now. Like any little tiny invaders in our body, it's scooped up, carried right in that lymph channel to be working its way right out of our system. So imagine your only job here is to work on that relaxation side that we were talking about. All you have to do for the next few minutes is just breathe. Huge inhales Long exhales. But the body really, if it hasn't touched upon relaxation much this class, let this be that moment. Complete release of muscles, body happy, body alive. We begin to deepen our inhales, deepen our exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body. Maybe wiggles to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel good. Maybe arms to the back wall, shoulders left and right. Or sometimes people like to take fetal position here. For fetal position, you keep body long, but you roll onto one hip. So one hip stacks on top of the other. And from that space, you can curl in like a tight little ball and arc the spine back like a super exaggerated cat-cow. That may be what feels amazing. I'll usually take a couple of rounds to one side, and then flip around a couple to the other side. We're just helping to wake our system up. No rush, but when you feel pretty good, pretty awake, pretty alive, feel free to make your way up to a comfortable seated place. And come together in front of heart. And we connect back to our intention, working with the immune system, trusting that we've helped the immune system tremendously from this class, trusting that those little invaders that it picked up are going to be on their way to being carried out of our system completely, trusting our intuition to guide us in how to best support that immune system, especially drinking lots of water the rest of today. And with this huge boost to our immunity to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.